At Honoring Icons, Lisa welcomes you to a space devoted to remembering extraordinary lives with dignity and heart. Here, we celebrate legendary figures whose talent, character, and influence left an enduring mark on the world. Through stories from film, music, and culture, we keep their memory alive and honor the inspiration they continue to give future generations. Tristan Rogers, born June 3, 1946, was an actor whose career became closely tied to the world of daytime television. Over time, he developed a reputation for bringing intelligence and subtle charm to his roles, earning the respect of both audiences and industry peers. His steady presence on screen helped him build a long-lasting career in a genre known for its fast-paced storytelling and evolving casts. Breakthrough role in General Hospital Legacy. He became best known for portraying Robert Scorpio on General Hospital, a character that blended mystery, wit, and emotional depth. Through this role, Rogers became a familiar and trusted figure for soap opera fans, delivering performances that balanced drama with moments of humanity. His work helped shape some of the show's most memorable storylines, and his character remained a recurring favorite across decades. Consistency and connection with fans. What set Rogers apart was his longevity and consistency in an ever-changing industry. As television evolved, he remained a steady presence, and viewers often felt a long-term connection to both the actor and the character he played. His performances became part of everyday viewing routines for many families, creating a sense of familiarity and continuity. Legacy and lasting impact. Tristan Rogers passed away at the age of 79, leaving behind a legacy built on dedication, professionalism, and enduring storytelling. He is remembered not only for his iconic role on General Hospital, but also for the lasting impression he made on daytime television as a whole. His work continues to be appreciated by fans who grew up watching him and those discovering his performances today. Richard Smallwood was born on November 30th, 1948, in Atlanta, Georgia, and developed a deep connection to music and faith from an early age. His upbringing, shaped by church traditions and classical influence, guided him toward a lifelong path in gospel music. He later pursued formal music studies, blending classical technique with spiritual expression in a way that became central to his artistic identity. Career and gospel influence. In 1977, Smallwood founded the Richard Smallwood Singers in Washington, D.C., creating a platform that would significantly influence modern gospel music. His compositions are known for their rich harmonies, emotional depth, and powerful arrangements. Songs such as Total Praise and Center of My Joy became widely performed gospel standards, resonating in churches and performances around the world. His work is often praised for its ability to combine technical excellence with heartfelt spiritual expression. Legacy and impact. Richard Smallwood is remembered as a deeply influential figure in gospel music, whose work continues to inspire both audiences and musicians. Beyond his compositions, he is recognized for his humility, mentorship, and commitment to uplifting others through music. His legacy lives on through songs that remain central to worship and through the artists he helped inspire across generations. Michelle Trachtenberg, born October 11, 1985, began acting at a very young age and quickly became a familiar face on screen. From her earliest roles, she showed a natural ease in front of the camera, combining confidence with an approachable, genuine presence. Growing up in the industry, she developed a career that evolved alongside her age, allowing audiences to watch her transition from child actor to more complex performances over time. Breakthrough roles. Her breakout moment came with Harriet the Spy, where she played the curious and determined young lead, capturing the imagination of younger audiences. As her career progressed, she took on a memorable role in Buffy the Vampire Slayer as Dawn Summers, bringing emotional vulnerability and depth to a character introduced into an already established world. Her performance added new layers to the series, helping it explore themes of identity, belonging, and family. Versatility on screen. Later, Trachtenberg showcased a sharper, more dynamic side in Gossip Girl as Georgina Sparks. The role allowed her to explore a completely different energy, witty, unpredictable, and bold, demonstrating her range as an actress. Across these projects, she consistently adapted to different tones and genres, moving between heartfelt drama, teen storytelling, and darker character work with ease, a lasting connection with audiences. Over the years, Michelle Trachtenberg built a career defined by versatility and emotional authenticity. Her characters often felt grounded and relatable, whether they were navigating adolescence, friendship, or personal conflict. She remains recognized for her ability to bring sincerity to varied roles, leaving a lasting impression across multiple generations of viewers who grew up with her work and continue to revisit it today. Marion Cleaves, Diamond, born on November 11, 1926, was a groundbreaking neuroscientist whose work reshaped how the world understands the human brain. Raised in Glendale, California, she developed an early curiosity about how living systems function. That curiosity guided her toward a lifelong pursuit of science and discovery, eventually leading her to the University of California, Berkeley, where she became a respected professor of anatomy. Rewriting what we know about the brain, Diamond's most influential contribution to science was her research showing that the brain is not fixed, but capable of change. At a time when many believed the brain structure was largely unalterable, she and her research team demonstrated that it can grow and adapt in response to experience. This concept, later known as neuroplasticity, transformed neuroscience and reshaped how researchers think about learning, memory, and development. A passion for teaching and discovery. Beyond her research, Marion Diamond was widely admired as an educator. Her teaching style was energetic and deeply engaging, reflecting her genuine enthusiasm for science. Rather than simply presenting information, she encouraged curiosity and critical thinking, helping students see the brain as something dynamic and full of potential. Her work, including enriching heredity, the impact of the environment on the anatomy of the brain, continues to influence scientific study and education around the world. A life of learning and legacy. Diamond's academic journey also included studies beyond Berkeley, such as at the University of Oslo, reflecting her lifelong dedication to expanding knowledge. Alongside her professional achievements, she built a meaningful personal life, sharing years with her spouses, Richard Martin Diamond and Arnold Bernard Scheibel. She passed away at the age of 90, leaving behind a legacy that continues to shape neuroscience. Her work remains a powerful reminder that the brain is not static, but capable of growth, adaptation, and continual change. In London's St. John's Wood, there is a room that does not look like history is being made inside it. No stage lights, no cameras, no audience. Just a piano near the window, a soft gray afternoon outside, and an 83-year-old man sitting quietly on the bench. This is Paul McCartney, once the heartbeat of the most famous band in the world, now living in a slower rhythm shaped by time rather than fame. He still plays, but differently now. The fingers move with precision. though less speed than before. Sometimes he pauses mid-melody, resting his hands on the keys as if listening to something only he can hear. In those moments, it is no longer about performance. It is memory, layered and silent. Liverpool in the 1950s, the chaos of global fame, friends who are no longer here, and a life that stretched far beyond anything he once imagined. Music never really left him. It simply changed its form. What remains today is not the noise of Beatlemania, but reflection, a life compressed into sound, held gently between silence and memory. Liverpool beginnings and the first turning point. Paul McCartney's story begins in post-war Liverpool, in a modest working-class home where music was not a luxury, but part of daily life. His father played piano casually in the evenings, while his mother, Mary, brought warmth and structure to the household. That stability ended abruptly when she died of cancer, when Paul was just 14 years old. The loss reshaped his entire emotional world. Years later, he would describe how everything felt different afterward, as if the foundation of life had shifted without warning. That grief did not disappear. It transformed into something else. Around the same time, he picked up a guitar instead of a trumpet, a small decision that quietly redirected the course of modern music. Liverpool in the 1950s was full of young bands inspired by American rock and roll, and it was here that Paul met John Lennon. Their connection was immediate, shaped by shared ambition and unspoken understanding. Both had experienced loss early in life, and both found expression through music. That emotional thread would later become one of the strongest creative partnerships in music history. The birth of a musical revolution. The meeting between Paul McCartney and John Lennon at a church event in 1957 marked the beginning of something far larger than either of them understood. Lennon's group, the Quarrymen, was still an informal skiffle band playing local gigs. When Paul joined, everything began to shift. Their dynamic was built on friendly competition, each pushing the other to write better, think faster, and refine ideas. Soon, they were joined by George Harrison, forming the core of what would become the Beatles. Their early years were not glamorous. They played long sets in Hamburg clubs, learning discipline through exhaustion rather than instruction. But those nights shaped them into a tight musical unit. When they returned to England, something had changed. Their sound was sharper, their confidence stronger, and audiences began to grow rapidly. By the time they signed with producer George Martin and manager Brian Epstein, they were no longer a local band. They were becoming a cultural force. The foundation of modern pop music was quietly shifting beneath them, driven by four young men who were still learning what fame actually meant. Beatlemania and the weight of global fame. By the mid-1960s, the Beatles were no longer performers. They were a phenomenon. Crowds screamed so loudly during concerts that the music itself often disappeared beneath the noise. Paul McCartney, still in his early 20s, found himself at the center of global attention that few people could truly comprehend. Songs like Yesterday and Hey Jude began to define entire generations. Yesterday, in particular, arrived to him almost like a dream, a melody he believed at first might belong to someone else. It didn't. It became one of the most recorded songs in history. Yet, beneath the success, something quieter was happening. The pace of life made reflection difficult. Fame created distance from ordinary experience, and the band members began evolving in different directions. While the world saw unity, internally they were changing. Creativity remained strong, but the shared center that once held them together was beginning to loosen. Even at the height of global success, the seeds of separation were already forming, quietly and without drama. Fracture, breakup, and reinvention. By the late 1960s, internal tensions within the Beatles became impossible to ignore. Creative differences, business struggles, and personal changes slowly pulled the group apart. The death of their manager, Brian Epstein, intensified the instability, leaving the band without a central guiding figure. Each member began exploring different artistic directions, and collaboration became more difficult. In 1970, the breakup became official, announced publicly by Paul McCartney. At just 27 years old, he suddenly found himself separated from the identity that had defined his entire adult life. The world reacted strongly, with fans divided and emotional. Paul retreated to a farm in Scotland with his wife, Linda McCartney, stepping away from public life to rebuild privately. That period was difficult and uncertain, but also transformative. He began recording solo material, eventually forming the band Wings. It was not an easy reinvention. Critics compared everything to the Beatles, but it allowed him to rediscover music without collective pressure. What emerged was a slower, more personal creative identity, shaped by independence rather than expectation. Love, loss, and emotional foundations. A significant part of Paul McCartney's life was his long marriage to Linda McCartney. They met in the late 1960s and quickly formed a bond based on comfort rather than spectacle. Their relationship was grounded in shared values, in a preference for privacy, despite public attention. Linda became a stabilizing force during the turbulent years following the Beatles' breakup, supporting Paul both personally and musically. Together, they raised a family and built a life that was intentionally away from constant media exposure. However, in the mid-1990s, Linda was diagnosed with breast cancer. Her illness deeply affected Paul, echoing the earlier loss of his mother. After years of treatment, she passed away in 1998. The loss was profound and reshaped his emotional world once again. In the aftermath, Paul turned to music as a form of processing grief, creating softer and more reflective work. Those years marked a quieter phase of his life, defined less by public achievement and more by personal memory and emotional survival. Legacy, memory, and a life still playing today. Paul McCartney remains active, though his life has naturally slowed. He continues to create music, perform selectively, and reflect on a career that has stretched across more than 6 decades. His legacy is not only defined by records sold or concerts played, but by the emotional imprint of songs that remain part of everyday life across generations. From Let It Be to Yesterday, his work has become woven into global memory. Yet his personal reflections often return to simpler moments: family, quiet mornings, conversations, and the people who shaped his journey. Now, in his 80s, he divides his time between privacy and occasional public appearances, choosing carefully where to place his energy. What stands out most is not fame, but continuity. A life that began in post-war Liverpool has stretched into a global cultural legacy, still gently unfolding. The music remains, but so does the man behind it, still playing, still remembering, still carrying time within every note.